Shannon, hi! Congrats on getting engaged! I heard all about it from Kevin. He was raving about how his big sister is getting married at last.
Thank you, Leah.
So, I heard you're getting married with someone you've been seeing for a long time?
You heard right. We've been going out since middle school, actually. After such a long time, we finally decided it's time to get married.
Wow, since middle school? That's amazing! I'm so happy for you two.
Thank you. Oh, that reminds me. We're going to be having the wedding soon, too.
Oh?
Once we get all the details decided, I'll let you know about it. We'd definitely love to have you and Kevin join us at our wedding.
Wait. You're having a wedding? Are you sure? Doesn't that seem like a little bit too much?
Excuse me?
I overheard from Kevin that you and your boyfriend are having a tough time, financially. And having a wedding in that kind of situation... You really shouldn't be spending that kind of money if you can't afford it, you know?
What do you mean?
Look, I'm just laying out the facts. Kevin told me about your situation. You two have been living in the same dingy apartment for years, right?
That is true, yeah. But we're both really busy with our work, so we don't really get to spend a lot of time at home. Given that, we decided it was better to rent a really cheap place that we can just crash at. We can save more that way, so it was a no-brainer.
No, but like, come on. Living in that kind of place? For literally years? There's a difference between being frugal and being downright trashy.
What?
I heard that your apartment doesn't even have a bath. Seriously, who lives like that in this day and age?
Well, that is true. We don't actually have a shower here. But we do have a 24-hour gym nearby with a nice shower setup. So we just kind of take all our showers there.
Oh my god, you can't be serious! I can't imagine having to go all the way to a gym just to take a shower!
Is it that weird? Honestly, the gym's facilities are really spacious, so it kind of feels like going to a fancy resort every day. Not to mention, it gives us an excuse to use the gym daily. So it's actually been really great for our exercising habits.
But like, bathing is all about the luxury of unwinding and relaxing. Personally, I could spend hours just soaking in my bath watching YouTube videos.
Cool, I guess.
How did it even end up this way? Kevin and I already bought our own home, yet you two are living like you're practically homeless. Like, what is this huge discrepancy between you siblings? Honestly, you should be more ashamed.
What? Why?
Your baby brother's already way beyond you in terms of income and quality of life. Don't you think that's embarrassing? So you really should think twice about having a wedding, or you're going to wreck your bank more than you already have.
Okay. Let me know if I got this wrong, but... Are you just trying to tell me you're worried about us and our finances? Or is this something else?
Oh, wait, I get it now. You were inspired by our wedding from last year, right?
What?
No, I totally understand. I can see why someone even as poor as you would want to have a wedding of your own, especially after you saw just how perfect ours was. An amazing and spacious venue teeming with guests. A gorgeous custom dress, and a huge wedding cake. Any girl would dream of having a wedding half as nice.
Yeah, it really was a nice wedding, wasn't it? I still remember it well.
But see, it was all only possible because we were the ones hosting. I really don't think you could ever afford anything near that level, Shannon. A cardboard box for the guests to gather around is probably the best you can do. Also, you should know, things don't just end after the wedding. There's still married life waiting afterwards, so you wouldn't want to go bankrupt just by having a wedding. Consider this as advice from a former bride to a bride-to-be.
Sure, I guess.
I'm telling you all of this out of the goodness of my heart, you know? You really need to take a good hard look at your finances before even considering something like this. Like, seriously, it's way too much for someone in your situation.
Hey, Kevin, you got a minute? I wanted to talk to you about Leah. Sure, what's up, sis? So, you told Leah about how I'm getting married soon, right? Can I ask about how exactly you explained it to her? What do you mean? I mean, I guess I told her you're going to get married with your long-term boyfriend. Also about how I'm super happy for you. But that's about it. Okay, that's kind of weird then. Because according to what Leah was saying, it sounded like you told her that we're living in abject poverty or something. What? Sorry that we're some weird trashy couple living in a shoddy old apartment. I really didn't expect my own brother to be so judgmental like this. Wait. Hold up. I never said anything like that. Not once have I ever called you guys poor. I never mentioned anything about your apartment to Leah either. So I don't know where that's coming from. Wait, really? Sis, I don't even know what your apartment looks like, much less if it's old or whatever. I've never been there. Now that you mention it, I guess we haven't really had the opportunity to invite you over. What kind of brother would put down his own sister like that anyways? I'm not that kind of guy. You should know this. Well, that's what Leah was saying though. She said that she overheard that we were in some kind of financial trouble. What the heck? I've never said anything like that. Where is she getting this from? Wait, hold on. What's up? You sent us a package a while back, right? That fancy clock. Do you remember? I think you sent it as a housewarming gift. That was about half a year ago, wasn't it? What about it? I just remember that Leah was really interested in your address written on the package. She had her phone out too, so maybe she was Googling it. So what you're saying is that she went out of her way to find out where I live? Could be. I recall that she was searching for a while. There also was that time she was pestering me about your salary and whatnot too. What? You know that time when Mom broke her knee and had to get hospitalized? We ended up splitting the medical fees together, remember? I think you paid a little more than me though, if I'm remembering it right. You said that you were getting a big raise soon, so it was no big deal. Yeah, I actually got into a fight with Leah about that. She was nagging me about how wrong it was for a younger sibling to have to pay more. Oh. It wasn't even that much more, though. Like, what, $200? Even though I kept explaining to her about the situation, she just wouldn't stop about it. So basically, I told her that since I'm making more money anyways, it's only natural that I pay more. Ah, okay, there we go. That explains why she was acting that way to me. She kept going on about how I should be ashamed that I make less than my brother. So that must be why she thinks I'm some kind of destitute person living in poverty. Sorry, I guess this kind of is my fault. I'll set things straight with Leah later, okay? Nah, bud, you don't have to do anything. Just leave her be. It's not really worth the effort to change her mind. Really? You sure about that? Don't you want to clear up the misunderstanding? Well, given the way she's currently treating me, I think any effort to convince her otherwise is going to make her double down on the idea. She might think I'm just trying to make excuses about my so-called situation, so it's best to just leave her be. Well, if that's the way you want to deal with it, that works with me. But are you really sure about it? Yep, it's no biggie. Anyways, I'll let you know about the wedding details once all that gets set in stone. Hi, Shannon! It's been a while, hasn't it? Yep, sure has. So, I heard from Kevin. You're really going through with the wedding, huh? Even after I gave you so much advice! It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, you know? I'd rather go through with it, no matter how much it costs. Wow! Look, I'll just let you know in advance. I'm not going, okay? Okay. I thought really long and hard about this. In the end, the answer was clear. There is no way I'm ever going to your wedding. Alright then. You mind giving me a reason why? I haven't even sent out invitations yet, so there must be a good reason why you're telling me this early, right?
Obviously the reason is because you're poor.
Yeah?
Since you guys are living in that nasty apartment, your to-be husband must also be really poor too, right? And honestly, if you're both that bad with money, you guys are totally going to get divorced before long.
Any reason why you think that?
I keep telling you, it's all because you're too financially unstable. Even though you can't even afford a proper wedding, you're going through with it like it doesn't even matter. I bet you're going to be getting a loan to cover the costs, right? But that means you two will be in debt the moment you start your newlywed life.
No worries. Everything on that front is all covered. We've been putting aside money for the wedding, so no need for loans or anything like that.
Come on, you don't need to lie about this. There's no way you've been saving anything when you can only manage to live in some sketchy low-income housing. I guess this only further proves that your wedding is going to be a total disaster. Looks like I made the right decision to not go.
Wow. Okay.
Have you saved up at least $10,000 for the wedding? Or maybe your budget is lower than that? Like, are you planning to cover everything with just $3,000 or something? Attending a low-budget wedding like that is just a complete waste of money, to be honest.
And why is that?
Well, if you're family, it's only natural to bring a wedding gift for the groom and bride, right? That could be anywhere between $500 or $1,000, average. So it just makes no sense to spend that much on people who have no idea how to handle their own finances. That's basically like throwing money down the drain. Or would you be okay with just a single dollar as a gift? Because that would be the only way I would consider going to the wedding.
Personally, I think the important part about wedding gifts is more so the thought behind it. I've never even considered whether it's a waste or not.
Oh my god! Are you really trying to convince me into giving you a wedding gift? I'm telling you right now, that kind of mind game is not going to work on me.
What are you even going on about?
You're having a wedding, even though you can't afford it. The reason is so obvious. Like, I know that you're totally just trying to fleece everyone with the whole gift thing. That's basically a scam, so there's no way I'm going to a wedding like that. Have fun with your low-budget wedding because I'm not putting 1 cent into it. And I'll say it again so the message is clear. I'm not going to your wedding.
Okay, but you're not even invited.
Huh?
You really went on a long spiel about not going. But don't worry, I think we're both on the same page. I never said I was inviting you, you know?
What?
Yet you went out of your way to tell me, in great detail, that you're not going. Are you that bored? Or just a little kooky in the head? Don't you think it's a bit silly to want to invite yourself from an event you weren't even invited to in the first place?
What? What do you mean you weren't going to invite me? You told me you'd love to have me and Kevin at the wedding.
You were constantly calling us poor and looking down on us. Don't you think it's natural that I change my mind after that?
That is so immature. You can't just not invite me for a reason like that. I'm your brother's wife, you know? It's only common sense to have me at the wedding. I'm family.
Even if I did invite you, you said it yourself that you're not going, right? So it doesn't even matter either way then. It's not my problem if you embarrassed yourself by assuming you'd be invited. You don't have to get all defensive about it.
Oh my god. I am not being defensive. I bet the real reason you're not inviting me is because you're hiding something from me, right? I know exactly the sort of person you are, Shannon.
Yeah?
Yes. Knowing how terrible and low budget your wedding is going to be, I bet you're just too embarrassed for me to see it, since I actually know how an amazing wedding is supposed to be like. Everything, from the venue, the dress, the catering, it's all going to be cheap and shoddy compared to my wedding. With only a couple $1,000s as your budget, it's no wonder you'd be ashamed to invite me.
My budget is actually about $60,000, thanks.
Huh?
Actually, that might be a little more than what you guys paid. I asked Kevin about it to get an idea of how much to budget for the ceremony. He told me you guys spent about $50,000 or so?
What are you even talking about? $60,000? You're lying again! There's no way you could prepare that kind of cash with how poor you are.
No lie. We have the money right here.
No way! How can a couple who lives in such a cheap apartment? How can you even come up with that kind of money? I know for a fact that you don't even come close to making as much as your brother.
It's true that I haven't been making as much as Kevin. But starting next year, I'm actually going to be earning twice as much. So there's no issue there.
Huh?
I don't think I ever told you, Leah. I am actually a doctor, and my husband-to-be is a lawyer.
What? A doctor and a lawyer?
You see, I had to complete my medical internship and residency, and he's been busy with his legal apprenticeship. It's been a really long and stressful time for the both of us. But now that we're finally out of that chapter in our lives, we decided it was the perfect time to get married.
What?
So by next year, I'm going to be starting my career as a licensed doctor. And he's going to be entering a major legal firm as a new attorney.
What? Wait. No one ever told me about any of this!
You know, it really was a tough time for us while we were going through our internships and training. But being able to live under the same roof with someone you love really makes everything worth it. Since the apartment was so cheap, we were also able to save a lot of money, too. Thanks to all that, we're going to be able to have a wonderful wedding. I'm so grateful for my poor lifestyle that you seem to really enjoy looking down on.
You're kidding, right? I seriously thought you were just poor. But a doctor? And a lawyer? You guys are like the ultimate power couple! What the heck?
Anyways, the wedding's going forward as planned. We don't really need you there, Leah. So, have fun staying at home, okay? Hey, sis. Did something go down between you and Leah? Maybe. Why? She just started wailing about how she wants to come with me to the wedding. Even though just the other day, she was saying the exact opposite. You got any idea why she did a 180 like this? Actually, she contacted me yesterday, so we had a little discussion. I let her know about our professions while I was at it. Wow, she seriously changed her tune just over that? She was so stubborn about not going just a day ago. Now she's begging to come along. That's hilarious. Leah's a funny girl, isn't she? She's kind of all over the place emotionally. There's nothing funny about her tantrums. Like, she kept insisting on me not attending the wedding either. She was saying that if I do intend on going, I'd have to pay out of my own pocket money. Even though I only get like $300 a month to myself after the mortgage. What? Kevin, you're only getting that much in spending money? You're working for a big company right now, aren't you? Well, after we got the new house, Leah was supposed to start working too. But she insisted that since the house is so big and hard to maintain, it'd be better if she stayed a housewife to look after the house. Man, she's always changing her tune about everything, all the time. Huh. Like I said, she refuses to work at all. But she says we have to pay our loans and our expenses are growing. So naturally, it all has to come out of my spending money. Well, I guess that explains your spending situation. Oh, but don't worry, sis. I'm going to get you guys a proper wedding gift. I still have a good amount in savings, so you don't have to worry about that. Hey, you don't have to do that at all. It's really the thought that counts, so don't stress yourself or your wallet over it. You know what would be a great wedding gift, though? Not having to see Leah at my wedding. So all I need from you is to make sure she doesn't show up, okay? That would be the ultimate gift you could give your big ol' sister. Of course. It's kind of her fault anyways for being so rude to you. I'll make sure she stays at home on the day of the wedding. Sorry that she's been a bit of a bother lately. This should have been a happier time for you. Don't worry about it. You don't have anything to apologize for. Well, I guess I'll see you at the wedding then.
Shannon! Congrats on your wonderful wedding! Such a beautiful dress, and the chapel was so picturesque. It was so amazing!
Wow, you really made a mess of today. You actually managed to force your way in.
That's such a terrible way of putting it. I didn't force my way in. I'm your brother's wife. That gives me every right to be at the wedding, you know?
Someone who doesn't even have an invitation has no right to be attending, even if you're technically family.
Aw, but I did have a proper invitation.
You forged a fake invitation to get in. I can't believe you would actually go that far just to show up.
Well, it is the wedding of my dear sister-in-law. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
You even slid yourself into the reception. Do you know how much you inconvenienced the staff by doing that? They hadn't planned for an extra guest.
You can forgive me, right? I did bring you a proper wedding gift after all. Let's be on good terms from now on, okay?
You're really shameless about trying to get on my good side, aren't you?
I'm just so happy to suddenly have a doctor and a lawyer as my in-laws. I'll be a good little sister, so let's be close, big sis.
Being close with you is the last thing I'd ever want. You're not even my sister-in-law.
Oh, come on. Don't say that, sis.
I've got a message to you from Kevin. He says he wants a divorce.
Huh?
Leah, you were making moves on our guests, weren't you? Maybe you thought you were being slick, but we know everything that's going on.
What are you even saying?
Kevin saw it all, you know. He saw you blatantly flirting with all of my husband's lawyer friends.
No,
So you started cozying up to me all of a sudden. While you're also shopping around for a new rich husband to leech off of. Do you have no shame? Kevin said he's had it with your behavior. He's going to divorce you.
No. This is all just a misunderstanding. It's all a big joke. I wasn't flirting. It was just friendly banter.
A joke? You know I can just check in with everyone, right? That lawyer that you were coming on to. I can ask him about the girl he exchanged numbers with today.
What?
Looks like you'll be seeing a divorce way before this poor couple ever does. Bye-bye, sis. Not long after that, my brother proceeded with the divorce. Leah, of course, refused to accept this. But thanks to my husband stepping in to help on the legal side, Kevin was able to move forward smoothly with the proceedings. It looks like Leah tried to find her next man among the guys she was talking to at the wedding, but no one wants anything to do with her, so she seems to be having a tough time. From what I've heard, she's been whining about how she's the most unfortunate girl in the world, abandoned by her husband and everyone around her. But to be frank, there's nothing worse than being forgotten. I gave her a gift worth about $3,000 when she married my brother, and she didn't even bother to remember that before calling me poor. So maybe I'm the most unfortunate girl? I'm joking. Maybe.